What is up, YouTube? Today I'm coming back at you with another gaming pickups video. Today I don't have a whole lot of stuff, just because I want to start off by saying I pre-ordered the Nintendo Switch. I watched the announcement for that. That's why I didn't put up a video last week. I was just basically on the hype train for the Switch. But yeah, so I have that pre-ordered, so that's why I don't have a whole lot of stuff, and I'm going to be paying that off, so I'm going to be a little sparse with my gaming pickups. But I pre-ordered the black and gray Nintendo Switch with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So hopefully in about 2 months I'll be doing an unboxing of that. I might even be doing a video during the launch event because I pre-ordered it at GameStop. So my girlfriend and I we both pre-ordered it. We're both going to go to the midnight launch at GameStop, and if it's anything like the PS4 midnight launch, there'll be some cool stuff going on. So yeah, I got about 4 different games for 4 different systems. So we're just gonna go oldest games to newest games, or not oldest games to newest games. We're gonna go oldest systems to newest systems. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the first system is Game Gear, and I picked up something new for Game Gear that I found. I've had a hard time finding new Game Gear games lately, just because I think I have over 1/3 of every North American Game Gear game, so finding new Game Gear games is kind of difficult now. But and I don't really want to buy them online just because they don't work. It's a big hassle, and I just don't like dealing with that. So I did get a new one though, and this one is it's called Taz in Escape from Mars. And this is obviously a Taz the Tasmanian Devil game. And this is actually a Metroidvania style platformer, which is really interesting because the other Taz game I haven't played it too much because I remember the mechanics were awful. But I think that one was a normal platformer, and this one is like a Metroidvania one, so you can go back and forth throughout the level, and it's very interesting. It's much better than the other Taz game that I have. I don't remember the name of that one specifically, but this one is much better. It actually is playable. The enemies seem a little slow and easy to defeat. They make it harder as the game goes on, because I honestly didn't play a whole bunch of this, but the graphics are nice. They're about average, I would say. I don't find the color palette very pleasing to look at, but the graphics themselves are pretty detailed, so I would say it's a pretty good game, about average, so it's worth checking out for the Game Gear. Alright, so the next system is the PlayStation 1. And before I start with this game, I just want to say you're going to see some sticker residue on all of these, because I haven't had a chance to get the rubbing alcohol out and clean these off, because my local game store has changed their stickers. They're the same style sticker, but they got new sticker paper, and it is so hard to get off. And it just, like the old stickers that they used, if I was really, really patient and just peeled really slow, I could get it all off, no sticker residue, didn't have to get any water or anything, and it would just come off. And now this is worse than GameStop stickers. And GameStop stickers you just require more patience. These I'm gonna have to get rubbing alcohol for these. So yeah, so this game I got is Hydro Thunder. And this is a port from the arcade game. I have always loved playing this arcade game. This was probably one of my most played arcade games when I was a kid. We had it at my campground that I used to go to. They had it at a local arcade. It's not around anymore. Don't remember what the name of it. I think it was called The Zone or something. But yeah. And they also had this same game at Chuck E. Cheese, where I lived. So when I was a kid, I played so much Hydro Thunder. And then somebody down my street got it for Dreamcast, because I only ever knew one person with the Sega console, and that they had a Dreamcast, and they lived like 4 or 5 houses down, and they had Hydro Thunder, so I always loved playing this game. I did not know there was a PS1 port to this, so I'm excited to have it. Honestly though, if you're gonna play Hydro Thunder, this is probably, I'm not sure what other systems this is on, but I'm gonna guess that this is probably the worst version of it. I wanted it nonetheless though, but the graphics for this are very they're not as good as the Dreamcast version. So if you have the opportunity, definitely get the Dreamcast version of Hydro Thunder. It's much better, but this is really cool nonetheless. If you're a PlayStation collector like I am, and you really like PlayStation consoles, this is a good version to have because you can play it on your PS1, and it's got arcade mode, circuit mode, and some other different modes. So it's really cool. Happy to have that. All right, so the next system is PlayStation 2. Now this is one I didn't expect, and I got this at a sweet deal. I have no idea why this was so cheap. I just saw this. I'm like, wow. I wanted the game. I just wasn't even actively looking for it, and that is Jade Cocoon 2. Now, Jade Cocoon is a JRPG for PS1, and this is obviously the sequel to that. I think they'd have a different art designer on this one, because I don't think this one has the same Studio Ghibli guy working on it. But it's a very similar concept. A lot of gameplay aspects to it are changed, though, from what I understand. I haven't played a whole lot of this, but it's a really cool JRPG series, kind of lesser known. So if you like lesser known JRPGs, definitely check this one out. I got this at a steal. It was like less than half of eBay prices. So I have no idea what my used store was thinking when they were pricing this, but whatever. It's good. More games for me. Now the last one I picked up on a whim because my local used store does this thing where if you buy so many games from them, if you spend so much money with them, they have this little card, and if you punch out all the holes, you get like $5, $5 off or whatever you get. So when I was getting a game, I decided to get this as well, and then I basically got this for free. And it's a Vita game, and it is Little Deviants. I had honestly never heard of this. I'd heard of it, but I actually never actually heard of what the gameplay was like or what kind of game it actually was. This is actually an augmented reality game, and basically what this does is this uses, I'm pretty sure this was close to launch for the Vita, but this uses a lot of the augmented reality functionality that the Vita has. So I'm guessing this is a collection of mini games, but one of the mini games is basically, because I actually haven't put this one in yet. I got this one most recently, and the one that makes the most sense on the back here is that it has this mini game where you basically go around and there's use the back facing cameras, and there's monsters that you see in the real world, and you use your Vita and you go around and shoot them, sort of like the face game on the 3DS, but actually more variety because there's different enemies, they have different powers, and you have to score. It's a little bit more in depth than that, but similar concept. Then you have one that's kind of looks like Katamari, where you kind of touch the back touch panel, and your finger makes a bulge in the world, and you roll around this ball thing. But yeah, so it's basically a bunch of little mini games, I think. Like I said, I haven't played this one because this is the most recent one I've got. But it's cool to have. It's a PlayStation exclusive, and it's just a really odd game. So I wanted to get this for my Vita collection. And yeah, so that's basically all the games that I picked up. Some actually unfortunate news for me in game collecting. In my local area, I don't know what's happening to the game collecting market, but in my area at least, it seems like it's dying down a lot. I used to have a lot of different options to go get retro games and older games, but now my options are down to literally my local used store that I have always visited the most because they have the best deals and stuff, and they have that cool $5 off thing, and GameStop. Those are my only two options now, and flea markets. But I only find a handful of good things at the flea markets per year, so those are really, really hit or miss. But I used to have there's the one I go to, and they have two locations in my city, and basically I've always gone to them because they have below normal online prices, which is really good. And sometimes if I go there frequently enough, I have in the past gotten deals since they recognize my face and I go in there a lot. So I've gotten even better deals than what the sticker price is. I used to have this other local store near me that I used to go to. Their prices were more exactly what they were online, but they actually got a lot of weird and kind of rarer things. They had an Atari Lynx that one time. I didn't actually pick that up. They had a Vectrex and some other stuff, but they actually moved their store to basically out of the city. So it's like out of really, really far out of the way to if I wanted to go visit it. So I honestly don't ever go there anymore. And then the other one, there's actually two more. And there was another one that sold used games, but their prices were super inconsistent. Most of the time, you would go in there, they would have like some things massively overpriced, and then some things were at like massively underpriced. So it was like really hit or miss. But that's mainly because they specialized in movies, so they had a ton of movies that were really good price. But yeah, they went out of business. And then there's another one that opened up last year and now is closed as well. And that was my favorite one because I knew one of the guys that opened up that store, and he would give me really good deals. And they had almost comparable deals to the store I love to go to. So they actually sometimes had better deals. So it kind of sucks that they went out of business, and that happened really recently, within the past month. So my local collecting scene is dying down. So finding games is becoming extremely difficult for me because the flea markets are super hard to navigate here. Basically, what happens at my flea markets is every single person that has video games at my flea markets, for the most part, thinks that they're made of gold. Like you will see, for instance, I saw SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs on PlayStation 2. They wanted, I think, like $12 or $10 for that. And yes, since it is a flea market, you can negotiate price. But like, if you try to negotiate that down to $2 for them, they won't do it. The lowest they will go is more than likely going to be like $5, which you're overpaying for SOCOM if you're paying $5. So it's really hard to get a good deal at my flea markets because everyone thinks that video games are like the next Beanie Babies of the 90s or something. I don't know what they're thinking. Sometimes you can find good deals, and I have in the past found really, really good deals at the flea markets, but it's a rare occurrence. It'll happen very rarely. So that's basically one of the reasons. Like, I have a lot of reasons right now that the amount of games I pick up has been going down, but that's a big major contributing factor. So hopefully, though, I'll be getting the Switch, and then I'll be picking up new Switch games. So that'll be cool, and I'll be doing an unboxing of that when that comes around. So let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. Always happy to hear new suggestions for games or movies or whatever. I respond and read all my comments. So, yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.